So a little bit about me here before we get started. So my name's Dustin Purtan. I've been a licensed real estate agent since 2016. I've served over 285 clients, actually just hit 300 plus recently. So very blessed with real estate and serving people. Top producer at Keller Williams for 24 months and then switched to eXp in early 2021. Been here for a little over a year now, achieved Icon that first year. And that was a big motivation for me to come to eXp because it's strictly production based. You know, if you can hit those figures, those numbers, then you get Icon. You know, you have cultural things that we have to do too, like teaching this class, but you know, strictly production based. So it's something pretty cool to try to hit. Married to my beautiful wife Emma, and together we have one daughter, Aria Joy, and one son, Jace Edward. Outside of real estate, I love to spend time with my family. One of the fun things we've been doing lately is taking trips to zoos. Zoos are such an easy trip with kids. If you are getting ready to have kids, zoos are so easy to do. Great for parents too. They usually have, you know, some drinks there, and you can walk around, have a drink, and check out the animals. Kids love it. So if you know of any zoos that you recommend, drop them below because we're trying to go to as many zoos as we can. It's kind of a fun thing. So any zoos you recommend, drop them in the chat box for me. Has to be one zoo out there. Come on. San Diego again. Yep, San Diego. I've got that one every class. Denver. Tampa, that would be a good one. We were just in Florida. Okay. Yeah, keep them coming. I like to write them down after this and kind of make a map, try to hit all of them. All right, so let's get going here. Course overview. So what you're going to learn in this class, like I said, this is more important than ever right now. Just because it's been kind of easy the past couple years. I mean, you get a listing, it sells. I mean, it sells for over asking. You get a buyer. I mean, buyers have been tough, but eventually you get one and they buy. I mean, they've been abundant. But what we're going to focus on is I'm going to show you a proven system that will help you generate 12 sales per year. Maybe you're brand new or you're a seasoned agent. Either way, this will give you a system you can follow to generate 12 sales or add 12 sales to your yearly goal, whatever that is. This is not just a system that can be used as part of your business, but should be the system you use every single day as the foundation of your business. The reason is because if we do not have a system to generate business or a funnel, then every day we are just randomly prospecting and hoping our phone rings with new business and sales. And that's what a majority of people do, right? When they get started, they just, hey, I'm an agent, I'm an agent, I'm an agent. Hopefully you call me or text me. And that's what I like to kind of call our go-to clients, our go-to customers, people that are going to support us no matter what. I've been doing sales since I was 18. It was in a newspaper clipping my dad gave me, and actually I started when I was 15, cold calling for one of my dad's friends who had an at-home business. But with sales, you always need that funnel, and most of the time we have our core people, our sphere, that are going to refer us no matter what, use us, but we need business coming in while we're waiting for that. And when you understand some sales basics like the 2% rule, as I call it, building a specific funnel that works for you while indirectly growing your brand, I can promise you you'll be scheduling showings and appointments with new customers weekly that will eventually turn into clients in our favorite four-letter word, sold. So part one, understanding sales basics in the 2% rule and funnels. One of the first things we need to know as salespeople is every business, no matter what, has a sales funnel that they have working for them to keep them in the game daily. If you're not in the game, you can't play, and if you're not playing, you can't win. And the whole goal is to win. If you do not have a funnel for your business, you will be lost in guessing every day what to do as a real estate agent. But when you have a funnel, You know exactly what to do. You have a system that you can wake up and do every single day. So what if you could build a simple funnel with free eXp tools, and every day you wake up, you know you have something that can help you stay in the game daily and generate business and sales. So here's an example, a very just quick drawing, clip art, whatever you want to call it, of a funnel. Leads come into the top of the funnel, that's our business. Out comes the commission checks, the money, which is what we're looking for. Yes, we're looking to serve people, but if you don't have the money coming in, you can't support your business. So the next thing we need to know as salespeople is not how to sell. Most people think I need to learn this script, learn this, learn that, do this, all that kind of stuff. But you'll become a better salesperson with experience. You can only practice a script so many times before you actually get into that conversation and that customer hits you with something that you never even knew about. I'm into year 6 and customers still hit me sometimes with things that I don't know about. Now I know how to overcome those things. They might be a specific question I may not know the exact answer to or whatnot, but I usually know how to overcome it now, which is part of the sales experience. Sales is not necessarily trying to get somebody to do something they don't want. It's serving the person, getting them to sold, helping them understand the process. So many people, for an example, quick side note, put up a listing the other day, Tuesday, had like, 10, 12 showings on it. And one person did not want to send in an offer. Their buyer did not want to submit an offer because the property disclosures weren't up yet. So the sellers were filling them out. They were trying to get them done as quickly as possible. I told the agent, you can mark contingent upon reviewing the property disclosures. And they said their buyer didn't want to. So that right there, that agent never got their offer in because we accepted one. But that right there is just helping your customer navigate. Hey, there is a path we can take to overcome this that you might be worried about. So the number one thing though is not about how experienced you are as a salesperson, but how often, final part of this slide, how often a lead converts into a sale. That is the most important thing that we need to know about. And it's been known throughout sales history that 2% of all leads convert on the first contact made. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Most people would probably look at this and be like, man, that's a bad thing. That's not good at all. However, I built my entire business on this through years 1 through 3 on this 2% rule, as I call it, alone. So if you've never seen this, take a picture of this. I love this. I had this on a huge whiteboard at my old office. Now I should probably get it back on a huge whiteboard again. I just like this information. It reminds me daily of simple stats when it comes to sales. But let's focus in on this stat. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. So what does that mean? That means if you talk to 100 people, 2% of those, no matter how brand new you are, how good you are, how knowledgeable you are about real estate, 2% of those people are going to convert. It's actually in a lot of Brian Tracy books, he always jokes around and says, if you're in a slump, do the 100 calls method that he kind of refers to it as. I don't know, don't quote me on the exact thing that he calls it, but the 200 call method. You call 100 people, there's 2 people sitting around waiting for you to call them because they need help. So now that we're focusing in on the 2% rule, what do we do with the 2% rule? Okay, that's great, Dustin, but what do we do with this? We got to do the math. And some people don't like math, but real estate is nothing but numbers. What's the square feet? What's the price? How many acres is it? How many bedrooms? What's the price per square foot? You got to do the math. If you don't do the math, you don't know your targets. And if you don't know your targets, you don't know what to hit, what to strive for. And you could go 3 months and be like, oh, I did 1 sale. But if you would have had your targets laid out, you could have maybe done 4 sales. But you don't know, so you can't keep up on them. So let's do the math here. So in this training, we're focusing on 12 sales. That's our number. You can change this to whatever you want. You can change it to 24. Same thing. So just use this method here. To achieve 12 sales, we must divide this by our conversion rate of 2%. 12 divided by 2% equals 600, which gets us 600, which means we need 600 leads minimum this year. You need 600 leads. So, and I always believe you want to be kind of conservative with it. So with this part of the game plan, I think you should have a minimum target to hit and a conservative target. So I just for easy numbers, I just double it. I mean, that's my conservative number. So I would say 1,200 leads is actually what you really need, or a minimum of 600. So you got to hit 600. You have to at least hit 600, but you should try to hit 1,200 leads. And don't get overwhelmed. This whole training is about how do we do this. That's what this whole training is about. So we're going to get into how we get the leads and all that. So now that we know our numbers, know how many leads we will convert into sales with the 2% rule, no matter how good of a sales agent you are, or real estate agent, or whatever you call yourself, consultant, we can now build a 1-year game plan. Take a picture of this. This is our 1-year game plan. You'll get the slides at the end, but if you want, take a picture of this. I'll let you know the most important slides to take a picture of. I think those are the key slides, but obviously you'll get the slides at the end and you can look through the whole presentation. But if we want 12 sales, we need 1,200 leads, and we need to know 52 weeks in the year. So how many leads do we need per week that we need to strive for? So when you wake up, okay, this week I need to get 24 leads. You know, like write that down. If you got a whiteboard in your house, boom, write it down. You got a whiteboard at your office, write it down. You know, I like to put the pen to the paper or the marker to the whiteboard. I don't like to always jot everything in my notes, because there's something about when you put that pen to the paper, you get a little bit more focused and that goal starts to come reality. But we need 24 leads per week. So now that we went over this sales basics, 2% rule, what a funnel is and all that, let's summarize this. Basically, we need a funnel. If you don't have a funnel, you'll be lost daily, not knowing what to actually do to build your business. You need a game plan so you know your targets for your funnel. We had that slide of the game plan. As a salesperson, you want more leads, not a higher conversion rate. And let me hit this one more time. You want a higher you don't necessarily want a higher conversion rate. People think if I can get better, I get better, then, you know, I can convert 6 out of 12 leads. No, you're just not going to. It doesn't matter if you're the greatest salesperson on the planet, you always want more leads, because to become great, you need time. It doesn't matter. You're going to need time to become great. So experience and time will help you to increase your conversion rate. When you increase your leads, the 2% rule will naturally occur, and this will help you create sales, which is needed to stay in the game. So part 2, building your funnel, generating leads and growing your brand through my favorite tool here at eXp, KV Core. So building your funnel. By creating a funnel for our business, we solve and do all of the following. But without a funnel, we're lost daily as real estate agents. Let's check out what a funnel solves for us and does. Building a funnel will do the following. It will give us a clear objective daily for our business. When you wake up every day, you know you have something to do as a real estate agent. Morning, you wake up, you prospect from 9 to 12 or whatever. But if you have a funnel, you can... Poor voice connection. Sorry, big thing popped up on my screen, said poor voice connection here. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Had a big light bulb pop up on my screen. Totally threw me off there. I was in the zone, and now I'm back. Okay, so anyway, when you have a funnel, back to what we were talking about, when you have a funnel, you're prospecting every day. That's kind of what your funnel is, but it's working for you in the background as well. So this will help us generate the 24 leads weekly, which is the most important thing as a real estate agent. Number 3, indirectly, yes, but you were going in and out. All right, well, hopefully I'm good now. I'm going to keep going just so we can stay on track here. If anything else happens, just let me know. Thank you for the comments. It indirectly builds our brand. Most people are really focused on building their brand as a real estate agent right when they get started, which generating sales is the most important thing when you get started, and probably your first 3 years, really. That's building your foundation. So, but you do want to indirectly build your brand. So by building a funnel, this will help create social proof with your audience so they know that you're a real estate agent and can help them with their real estate needs. So what do we use to build our funnel? KV Core. So KV Core, I wish I had KV Core years ago, because this is exactly what my brain was thinking of. Okay, how do I do this? How do I do that? This tool, free tool, I should say too, is a great way to get your funnel going. I mean, you can build complex funnels. I mean, Apple, McDonald's, places like that, they have very complex funnels. For us, this is a great start to building your funnel. But now it's time for the most important part of your business, your sales and branding funnel. So now we're going to actually build this, so get ready. And if you're ready to build a funnel, learn how to build this funnel, drop a rocket in the chat box for me. It was crazy the last time we did this. There's like 170 people. These rockets were coming in so fast. It was awesome. That's the one thing I love about eXp. It just feels like every day we're taking off with something. So SpaceX, yeah, that works, All right, so yeah, keep dropping them in there, and eXp is fun. eXp is a lot of fun. People don't even realize it. I try to tell them, they're like, oh, you just want to recruit me. I'm like, no, you don't realize the world we have that we're connected with. All right. Let's get into this. So here's a quick overview. This is a slide you might want to take a picture of. But this is a quick overview of our steps. Our funnel is going to have 3 steps to it. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Here's some notes. We're going to re-hit these in a second. But first, let's talk about branding a little bit more. We were just talking about it. Why is branding important, and why do you want to do it indirectly? Branding creates confidence in prospects, which then become customers and eventually become your client. People think you talk to them on the phone, they're a client. They're not. They're a customer. When somebody calls in and talks to you, they're a customer. When do they become a client? When you start showing them homes, maybe you do a buyer's agency agreement with them, but they're not your client because they called you and wanted to go see a home. That was the first time you ever talked to them. They're not a client. They're a customer. And there's steps to that relationship. I have agents call me, hey, that's my client. I'm like, who's your client? The person that called your for sale sign and wanted a showing. Oh, okay. How many times have you shown them? Well, I showed them a house 2 weeks ago. Okay, that was a customer. You need to retain your customers, and branding will help you build confidence with them and retain them as customers to turn them into clients. The best form of branding is not content created with the following. Now, some of you are going to beat me up on this, okay? Some of you are going to take offense to this, and I'm sorry, but it's just, I see it too often. The best form of branding is not tip images created on Canva, house images, or video content, TikToks, Reels, things like that. This is your filler content or your bonus content. Now, I will say, many of you do way better than I do at this branding. I don't do TikToks. I don't do Reels. You'll never find me doing one. Can you get business from them? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm kind of old school. Hit the phones, create a funnel, drive traffic, things like that. Talk to them and whatnot. But if I added this element to my business, it would probably be great. So, but what you need to focus on is the most important content, which is social proof that you sell homes. So Dustin, how do we create social proof that we sell homes if we're brand new or we're in years 1 to 3 and we don't have tons of business coming in? That's where you use this funnel. So here's step 1 of the funnel. This is kind of what it looks like. You would post this on your Facebook, your Instagram, wherever it may be. And you don't want to tweak this too much right away. I mean, if you want to, spice it up, do your own thing later, you can, but just copy and paste. That's the whole point of this class, is to copy and paste this. Step 2, the lead or the customer hits step 1, they go to step 2, our landing page, which is our KV Core site, checking out the listing. And then they, within 30 seconds to a minute, I believe, KV Core will hit them to fill out a form, send you the lead. And then you're thinking, great, Dustin, I got a lead, but what does that do? Well, you need to hit them with this very complicated script. That's a joke. Would you like to set up showing? This is the script. This is the script I used for so many years. It's crazy. People will try to spice this up when I'm talking to new agents. They'll try to fill out all this thing. Have you been pre-approved? Would you like to go do this? The thing is, our attention spans are very short with text. I mean, if you're talking to your wife, your girlfriend, significant other, yeah, you can read a longer text. But for our world, boom. Hi, this is Dustin Purtan, real estate agent with eXp Realty. You reached out about the property located at 931 Trimble in Akron, Ohio. Would you like to set up a showing? Boom, that's all you say. And you want to space it out like this too. So I see people just kind of run this all together. You want to space it out so they can quickly glance. Hi, this is Dustin Purtan. You reached out about the property, 931 Trimble. Would you like to set up a showing? They can read it very quick like that. So let's get into building it. Now that you've seen it, you kind of understand it. Let's get into building it. So this is step 1. This is what we're posting on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. You want to focus in on this part of the funnel here. This is the first part that we're going to tackle. So what you want to do is you want to go over to your KV Core dashboard, and then you want to go down to listings. And then on the listings, you want to go to company listings, which this is going to show all eXp listings. And I will say we are starting to take market share. I actually see, no names please, but other brokerages starting to copy what we're saying because they see us coming in these markets. I'm seeing more and more eXp here in Ohio. And wherever you may be at, maybe you're seeing more and more, but you want to click on company listings because we want to work with our colleagues, our eXp family here. And then what we want to do is find a listing. Now, side note here, I already see some people dropping in the chat. If you don't have any listings, what you want to do is do the following. You want to reach out to somebody. Just go through the listings, figure out one that you like, reach out to our eXp family and say, hey, can I promote your listing to try to get buyers? I had somebody reach out a couple weeks ago. Hey, I had a listing that was sitting there. It was overpriced. Had a damage to the wall in the garage. People were getting scared, even though I told them we could get corrected for $3,000. Seller was willing to pay for it, but they couldn't pay for it until proceeds. I had a contractor that would take payment at closing, etc., etc. And hey, can I list your property, try to get some buyers for it? Or can I promote your property, try to get some buyers for it? Of course you can. But for compliance purposes, check with your state broker. Excuse me. But for compliance purposes, you want to put this verbiage in the description somewhere, usually at the bottom. So after you do your description, you want to put this into the bottom. We'll talk about that. Listing courtesy of eXp Realty LLC, whatever your MLS is. Approval received from listing agent Dustin A. Purtan. That's all you need. And you just check with them first. We have plenty of eXp agents all around the country, probably where you live, there's plenty of them, and you just ask them. If one says, no, you can't use my listing, you just go to the next one. Don't be worried about it. Just go to the next one. Somebody will say, of course you can promote it. So back to this part, we're going to go over here. We're going to grab this link. You can take that direct link, or what I normally do is I just copy and paste this. I click on it, copy and paste this link, and then we're going to go over to Bitly. Now, what is Bitly? Bitly is a website that shortens the URLs. So it shortens the URLs, makes them look prettier. Because if you post the super long link on there, it kind of looks like spam. It's actually been proven in many online marketing books, things like that, that the longer the link is, the more of spam it looks. So you want to take it and you want to shorten it. Not only does it look prettier, but it also helps us track how many people. So you take the link, you post it into here on the right. I usually label mine like this, KV Core -447 Malvern, whatever the address is. And then right here, this is where I was kind of jumping to, it shows us it shows us how many people have clicked on it. So as you can see there, 425 people clicked on this link. Now, why is that important to know? It's important to know to track this because then you know which listing is performing well, and maybe you should re-promote that. Okay, maybe you should re-promote that one on week 2 of your 52-week game plan campaign that we got going on. So back to this, let's finish filling out step 1. Step 1 is the most abundant part of your funnel. This takes the most work. Now your description, where do you get the description? Boom, you just get it right over here on the listing. Boom, you take that. Now I don't ever advertise the address. If you advertise the address in the price, they have no reason to click on the more info button, which takes them over here, which creates a lead. So you don't always want to advertise all that. Now I do put the listing address right there on my, let's get to this right here, on my first picture. Now this is what you want to create. This is what's creating the social proof and branding that you do real estate. People don't care if you know 5 ways to get a pre-approval. Of course you do. You call 3 lenders and you figure it out. They don't care if you know that you should turn back the clocks anymore or whatever. I think they're getting rid of that finally. They don't care about that. They want to know that you're working and you're performing, that they can trust you with a transaction. So that's why this is important. Now, where do you create this? You create this over in Canva. I love Canva. I use Canva all the time. I just not very good at creating tip images or things like that. I just typically try to get more and more sales. That's what it's about. You're a sales agent. Now, if this is not your listing, you want to replace this part right here with just eXp. I usually just tell all my agents that are training, hey, you can use my listings, use all of them, let's generate some business for you, etc. Change that part right there to just the eXp logo. So don't put your name on there because that's going to make it look like it's your listing, and you don't want to do that. You just want to be passive with it. You're trying to be passive with it, showing people that there's a new property or set up a showing, whatever it is, but you don't want to try to take full-on credit for somebody else's listing. That's why you want to put the listing courtesy of in there too, to give them some recognition. Some people even put it real big. Hey, my colleague just listed this house. If you want more information on it, click below. You could do something like that. So back to this. Now that we've built the most important part of your funnel, you'll be able to copy and paste this every week for 52 weeks. Seriously, do this every week for 52 weeks. Find a new listing and ask permission and check with your broker to make sure you're doing it right. Post it on your Facebook, post on your business page, and you can even post on Instagram using link in bio for traffic. I actually have not done this yet, and every time I get a listing, I'm like, I need to change from Linktree to link in bio. It's great. You click on it, boom, it pops up another Instagram screen, and they click on the picture, takes them over to it. It's just I think it looks a little cleaner and it looks a little faster for the customer. So let's recap the funnel real quick. They go to step 1, your just listed or sold post for advertisement and branding that you post on Facebook or Instagram. This creates the social proof while creating a brand. Step 2, the lead goes to your KV course site, fills out the information. This is piquing the lead's interest with you and getting them engaged with your brand, putting you top of mind passively. You're not even shouting out there, hey, I do real estate. You're just saying, hey, check out this new listing. And they're starting to recognize your name. Step 3, you send them the would you like to set up a showing script via text. This is getting you a face-to-face connection, which will create the emotion of them knowing, liking, and trusting you, which takes them from customer to client to sold. A little highlight here, nothing is more powerful than a face-to-face connection with a lead. If we actually met each other in person, you would know, like, and trust me a little bit more. That's just what naturally occurs. I mean, unless, you meet someone in person and, they're stumbling all over the place, they fall down, they try to beat you up. I mean, you get what I'm saying. You meet somebody, you shake their hand, and you're trying to serve them, they instantly know, like, and trust you a little bit more. So recapping this real quick, these are the steps. In comes the lead. Boom, we hit them with the script. Would you like to set up a showing? And we'll get into more of this here in the final 15 minutes. So why is our goal to set up a showing with the lead? Because at first they don't care about us. They just want to see the house. They just have questions. They just want to know something. They've been eyeing it online for a couple weeks. They saw your post. But once again, the reason is because once you meet them in person, that face-to-face connection will create the emotion of them knowing, liking, and trusting you. Nothing, once again, is more powerful than that face-to-face connection. That's why I don't try to pre-approve them over the phone. I just want to go meet them. And I'm going to show you a whole step-by-step in the final section of this, what you do. So if you can't tell here, we got a funnel inside of a funnel. So we have our lead driving funnel, which we post on Facebook, etc. But then they go into another funnel of us meeting them in person. And that's what we want to do. We want to get them in person. Even if somebody probably can't get pre-approved. I mean, I don't really care if they can or not. I'm going to meet them. And once I meet them, shake their hand them my marketing material, hand them my buyer packet, as I call it. I'm going to show you here. And they grab that, and they know that I'm a professional, boom, they're going to probably ride with me for the next 12 months, you know, even if they can't get pre-approved in the first 3. They're probably going to, hey, Dustin, you went and showed me the home without me being pre-approved. The last 12 agents wanted me to be pre-approved, wanted me to get my credit ran. All I wanted to know, does the house work for me and my family before I ding my credit? So now that we built your funnel, let's take your funnel to the next step. I'm going to hit this in 3 minutes real quick because I didn't get to the last part of this last time, and that's actually a very important part. So how do you take this funnel to the next level? You must realize that you cannot learn everything, and thankfully, because of third-party services, we can pay a small investment to help us achieve our 24 leads weekly. Because when you post this, some of the leads are going to come organically, but you also need to invest in your business. So for $45 to $60, you can boost your listings through KV Core on your dashboards. So this is what I do for every single post. I do $45 to $60, which gets me 3 to 7 days of advertisement through KV Core Property Boost. And then I do $5 daily for 3 to 5 days through Facebook business page. I've been doing this probably for 6 years, seriously, for 4 to 6 years at least. This comes out to a yearly spend of about $3,200 for me, or $4,500 total, give or take. Daily spend of about $9 or $12 a day, which equals my Starbucks and my Red Bull. So my caffeine in the morning, my caffeine in the afternoon. That's how much it costs me. So where do you find this? You go to your dashboard, you go to the listing that you're advertising, boom, you hit Property Boost right there. And then up here at the top, you're going to want to select the listing one, not the open house or the price reduced or the sold. You can do those, but I just do the listing. And then down here at the bottom, $45 to $60, you just select whichever campaign you want to do. I highly recommend to always do 60. It gives you the best results for 7 days and the money. 45 is good if you're doing a colleague's open house. Hey, can I promote this? Yeah, go ahead, boom, hit 45. But for another 15, you'll get several more leads. Now here's a look at mine. I haven't taken a new screenshot of this for probably about 4 or 5 months, but as you can see here, I've done about 25 ads, which is about one every other week I've done, and I've had 430 leads come in. The average cost per lead is $3.10. Oh, but Dustin, these leads suck. These leads are terrible. Oh, these leads. Did you hit them with the would you like to set up a showing script, or did you try to qualify them up and down with 10, 12 million questions, and they've never even met you? Just, would you like to set up a showing? Yes, you're not going to win all of them, but we're going for 2%. We're going for 2% of them. We're not going for all of them. So on this form submission here, I've got at least 9 sales from this, if I'm hitting it all the time like I should be. And that's what you should when you're trying to get that business going, waiting for your power base, your sphere of influence, the people that already know, like, and trust you to hit your phone. You're going to get 6 sales minimum a year from the people that know, like, and trust you already if you just say you're a real estate agent. But how do you get 12 more? You build a funnel. You follow this process. So you can even see the separate leads here. Boom, this one came from a property boost, in case you're interested in that. Boom, you hit them with the would you like to set up a showing. Copy and paste this, change your name, and change the information at the bottom. So for your Facebook business page, it's the same exact thing. You just go on there, you hit boost. And two things to remember with a Facebook business page boost is you always want to select special ad category, and you want to pick housing. If you don't, they will ding you because they'll know you're a realtor. So you just want to make sure you hit special ad category and hit housing. And then make sure your audience selection is the address with the radius. If you just do whatever, it's going to promote it to Georgia, Seattle. I live in Ohio, so it's going to promote it just all across the country. What you want to do is take that address and do about 15 to 25 miles around that, and boom, boost it. It's going to start popping you up in other people's feeds. And even if you don't get leads from it, you're getting branding going. So it's worth the $5 to $15 or whatever that you spend on it. So $4,500 a year. We all have a credit card that has $5,000 on it. Invest in your business, take the chance. What's the worst that can happen? You got to go down to the local fast food joint and pay off your credit card. I guarantee that's not going to happen. So, but let's get going. PS, do not worry about what happens week by week. Just focus on getting those 24 leads per week. Some weeks you're going to have 0 results. People aren't going to text you back. Other weeks you're going to, every time you text a person, would you like to set up a showing? They say yes. Just focus on hitting your targets. Every week you post something on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day you like, and then every week you reply to all 24 leads. Would you like to set up a showing? Part 3, let's unpack this. So this is important. So what happens when you get to the showing? Here's 5 key steps to getting them sold. Now you got the leads coming in, you're texting them, would you like to set up a showing? Boom, you go to the showing. What do you do to get them sold? When you meet the lead in person, let's do the following key things. 1, hand them a buyer packet. What is a buyer packet? This is a folder with information about you, the buying process, maybe a page of recommendations like lenders that you work with, your preferred lenders, preferred title, inspectors, things like that. Information. This helps you build, this helps you build you as a professional in their eyes. So I'm getting pumped about this part because the buyer packets, people just don't do them. I don't know why. You go shake their hand them a buyer packet. When you go to the doctor, when you go to dentist, when you go anywhere, they hand you a packet of information. Even if you take it home and you set it on your countertop, they handed you something of the process. That's what you need to do. You get 25 free folders right away. You get 100 business cards, whatever it is. Boom, print off some information, take some time, get your lenders in there. Even if it's 2 or 3 pages, handing them that folder is the most important. So while showing the house, you want to hit them with these questions indirectly. You kind of want to play stupid in a way with them. Dear customer, because people are asking me, hey, when do they get pre-approved? Right here. Dear customer, I can't remember if we talked about financing or not. Or, dear customer, I cannot remember if we talked about this or not. But have you looked into financing, or do you need help with that? They are always going to respond majority of the time with, no, I need help with that. Now, notice the way I phrase this question. Have you looked into this, or do you need help with that? If you just hit them with, have you been pre-approved, they're going to just maybe say yes, maybe say no. But when you say, or do you need help with that? Psychologically, they say, we need help with that, means they're letting down their guard for you to, they're starting to open to you. That's what you're doing. You're just trying to build that know, like, and trust. This opens the door for you to connect them with your preferred lenders. I use a simple text script. I group text them with my lenders, and the retention rate is crazy. It's probably 10x from what it used to be with us. And then the lender replies back and says, hey, when can I hop on a phone call with you? I would love to work with you. Dustin's a great agent. He has your back. Number 3, the MLS. Most people don't take advantage of their MLS enough. But what you want to do is you want to connect them to their MLS. Once again, you're walking around the house, they're looking at it, and you want to hit them with this. Dear customer, so are you just looking online? Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, those websites, are you actually connected to the MLS? They're going to respond and say, I don't know what the MLS is. Most of them are. I mean, sometimes people remember 5 years ago when they bought, but majority of the time they don't. And then what you want to let them know is the MLS is not the multiple listing service. That sounds too complicated. Me and you know what that is, but it's what the hell is a multiple listing service? It's the database of homes for sale. So I always just tell them the MLS is the database of homes for sale in Ohio, in Summit County, in Cuyahoga County, whatever it is. And then what you do is you get a good email. Maybe you got their email from KV Corp, maybe you didn't. You get a good email. Make sure they didn't give you their junk email. My junk email is dustinpurtan@gmail.com. That's what I give Target, Lowe's, all those places, right? You fill something out, that's my junk email. The MLS is also a funnel. It's going to be working in the background, sending them new listings while you're not following up with them, you know? So it kind of buys you some time to follow up with them. So after the showing, you want to do these two things immediately. Connect them with the lender. Once they're pre-approved, this almost guarantees you a sale. If you can get them to that lender and they get a pre-approval, this almost guarantees you a sale. You have a 90-day window to get them sold. Okay, they will say that it's good for 120 days, but you want to shrink that to 90 because you need about 30 to close the deal. So you want to have 9 days. If you get them a pre-approval, boom, that's a slam dunk that you have a buyer if you can find them something within 90 days. Connecting them to your MLS. You want to do this because even if they are not pre-approved, this will keep you top of mind. It will send out new listings. It will have your branding on there. And you also want to limit the amount of showings if they're not pre-approved. A little side thing here. If they're not pre-approved, you still want to show them about 3 to 4 homes because, one, sometimes we don't have anything better to do in the evening as real estate agents. Might as well go look at some homes. But after about 3 to 4, and you've built that rapport with them, you need to emphasize, if you don't get pre-approved, I can't show you any more homes. I know you want to be nice to them and do all that, but you just want to let them know that, hey, these homes won't be there. My hands are tied as soon as you like one, you know, and then that's kind of your cutoff too. You know, if they don't get pre-approved, they're not a player. And if they're not a player, you can't close the deal. So how many showings do you need to go on until they go under contract on a property? So as the market kind of shifts to these, I would call them normal interest rates, because when I got into the business, they were basically around this. They've gone up faster than they've ever gone up, but when I got in the business, they were about 5.5%. Yeah, I heard earlier like 6 to 7%, whatever. But I even typed in 16% on the mortgage calculator out of curiosity from back in the day. It doesn't dramatically change the payment. People are still going to buy. So historically, this is the number of showings you need to take them on. We will go back to the sales stats here. We want to focus on this part now. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. Now you want to change that to 5th to 12th showing. 80% of the deals are made on the 5th to 12th showing. So my average, I tracked this for a couple years. I'm a big numbers geek if you haven't been able to tell, but my average was 8 historically. So I would just focus on showing the client 8 homes, or I would try to go on 8 showings every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it was. Maybe I did 4 with one client, 4 with another. I would just try to go on 8 showings. So as fast as possible too, because if you drag them out, if you do one on Monday, one on Wednesday, one on Sunday, it's too long of a time period to where they start forgetting what the other homes looked like. You want to get them through the process. So now in this current market, if it's still pretty, you know, pretty hot where you're at, which it's going to stay like that, it's going to take a while for it to cool off. You might only need to show them 1 or 2 homes. You might want to switch this from 8 showings to 8 offers, and you want to emphasize that to the customer, the client. You want them to know that, hey, in a normal market, I usually have to show you 8 homes for us to get one. In this market, I normally have to write you 8 offers for us to get one. So my final remarks here as we wrap up: no one is really served. One of my favorite mentors saw him on a news channel back in the day. He was advertising his book. I picked it up. I will say it changed my sales life. Zig Ziglar was the first person I ever ran into. Went into a bookstore in between an appointment when I was 18 doing sales, went into a bookstore, saw this book of Zig Ziglar. That's where it all got started. But Grant Cardone, if you really dive into his sales stuff, he made me understand the service process and how fast paced we live in this day. And no one is really served until you close the deal. So you can feel like you're serving somebody. Oh, I showed somebody 30, 40, 50 homes. I'm serving them. I'm being such a great steward. No, you never got them to the finish line. So you need to close the deal. You need to ask them, hey, would you like to put in an offer? You need to hit them with that question. They're not going to ask you. They don't know the process. You need to hit them with, would you like to put in an offer after you show them the home? Just say it's part of your process. Hey, after every home, I'm going to check with you. Would you like to put an offer once they get that pre-approval letter?